they show you a ray of light crossing a boundary or crossing an interface, and most students leave it blank. They are confused, don't know what to do. Here is how you solve such questions. When light crosses a boundary or interface between two media, for example, air going into a next media, which is glass, for example, when light crosses a boundary between two media, it bends. This is called refraction. The rule that governs it is called Snell's law. Now, Snell's law states that n1 sine theta 1 is equal to n2 sine theta 2. This is called Snell's law of refraction. Now, n1 and n2 are the refractive indices of each medium. So n1 is the refractive index for medium 1, in this case air. N2 is the refractive index for medium 2, in this case glass. Now, theta 1 is the angle of incidence, which is right here, while theta 2 is the angle of refraction, which you see right here. Sometimes we can use theta r for angle of refraction, and we can use theta I for angle of incidence. Or we can use theta 1, or we can use theta 2 for the second medium. Now, as you can see on the screen, both angles are measured from the normal line. This straight line right there is called the normal line. Normal line. While this line right here is the surface or is the interface. Most students do measure the angles of incidence and refraction from the interface. That is the number one mistake you make. To measure the angle of refraction and the angle of incidence, they are measured from the normal line. All right. Now, just a quick note. If light is moving from a less medium, in this case air, to a denser medium, the light rays will bend towards the normal line because the glass medium is more dense than air. Now, if glass or if the light was moving from a denser medium to a less dense medium, it tends to move away from the normal line. So please, you have to remember that. Now let's look at a question. It says light travels from air into glass. Now, the refractive index for air, so N1 is 1.00, it's a constant, while the refractive index for glass is 1.5. So N2 for glass is 1.5. Now it says the angle of incidence is 40, so our theta 1 is 40 degrees. We are asked to find the angle of refraction, so our unknown is theta 2. So for such question, we have to apply the Snell's law, so which states that refractive index of medium 1 times the sine of angle of incidence is equal to the refractive index of medium 2 times the sine of angle of refraction. So we log in the values. Our N1 is 1.00 times sine angle of incidence is 40 equal to angle of refractive index of medium 2 is 1.5 times sine of angle of refraction. So let's go. So We have 1.00 times sine 40 will give us 0.643 equal to 1.5 times sine of angle of refraction. So this on my left will give me 1.00 times 0.643 will give us 0.643 equal to 1.5 times sine of angle of refraction. So our next step is to make the sine the subject. So we divide both sides by 1.5. So I will divide the left hand side by 1.5 and divide the right hand side by 1.5. So this is gone. So 0.643 over 1.5 will give us 0.429 equal to sine of angle of refraction. So to find the angle of refraction, we have to find the sine inverse of my left hand value. So therefore, our angle of refraction is equal to the sine inverse of 0.429. So put that in your calculator, you should get approximately 25.4 degrees. So our angle of refraction is 25.4 degrees. As you can see from our final answer, the way we tend to bend toward the normal line because the light is coming from a less dense medium into a more dense medium. Hence, the angle is reduced to 25.4. So just for emphasis, when the light is going to a denser medium, the ray bends toward the normal line. So your angle of refraction will be smaller than the angle of incidence. If the ray is going into a less dense medium, the ray bends away from the normal. So your angle of refraction will be larger than the angle of incidence. Use that to check your answer before you write it down. Follow for more.